Oh.
Jesus, I can't get this.
And the Conant Cougars. This one is a pretty big one. Some recognizable faces in the building tonight. Some scouts in the building tonight. And a whole lot of basketball.
This gym is getting packed.
This is the most crowded I have ever seen this gym without green and white in it.
Right. I could say the same.
And it's all because of that man and his teammates, Max Christie, the number 13 player in the country for the class of 2021 and the number 1 player in the state of Illinois.
He's only a junior. He's our age. Yes.
And here we go, jumping. For Rolling Meadows will be Max Christie. And for the Conant Cougars will be number 11, Devin Ellis. And this one won by the Mustangs. And here come Cam Christie, Max Christie, and the Rolling Meadows Mustangs.
This might get a little confusing here. We got number 12, Max Christie, and 24.
12 and 24, as in Cam Christie.
Cam Christie, that's it.
Immediately going to work. Max Christie 3 balls off the mark. Rebound to the Cougars. Straight up the other way. Here comes Max, and he slams it home. Max Christie starts things off with a bang.
And this gym loves it. 2 points already from Max Christie.
Devin Ellis, nice little cut there.
You know, he can jump. He's got house. Oh, my.
The main event at the moment.
Cam with the ball.
Cam Christie, kick out to Max. Given to the near side.
He's smaller than his older brother.
Only a freshman.
Yes, only a freshman.
3 ball on the way. This one is good. That one by number 23, Jonah Ogunsanya.
I think I'll be in the student section for the York Montini game tonight.
The Montini York game is going to be a fun one. That one coming up to you at 8 o'clock. Bobby Hessling will be on call for that one. It's a nice little drive by Devin Ellis. 5-4.
Is it the next game?
That would be 2 from now.
2 from now.
So
right.
1 in between is Cam Christie. This one taken away by the Cougars, going from half court to the other side is going to be number 12, Matt Clola.
And Conant seems to be doing a great job of stopping the threat of the Christie brothers as they bring it up.
Christie 3 ball off the mark. He's 0 for 2 from distance.
We got 9 viewers. You'd think this would be... Well, I mean, it is a big game.
Cam Christie 3 ball off the mark, no good.
Christie brothers are getting... They're getting a little trigger happy a little early here, Gavin.
Agreed. And there's a lot of people in these stands that have come out to see the Christie brothers.
Ball.
That one no good. Rebound by Christie. It'll be the first foul on the Cougars. Both teams have 2. Six ball game. And Daniel Subkowicz gets that one to go. 7-6, 1 point advantage for the Mustangs. Devin Ellis. Ellis, the jumper is short. Back the other way come the Mustangs. Up in front, Ogunsanya to Christie. Christie, 3 is short. He's 0 for 3. Devin Ellis back the other way, behind the back. Up, over Christie, no good. This one goes out to Daniel Hong. He'll give back inside, back out Hong. Hong hesitates, looking to pull the trigger, doesn't do it. And back up top and resetting is the Cougars. Near side, Ellis. Good little cut there. Good feed. Good finish. That one capped off by number 5, Abbas Krafili. Christie goes, drives up, and that'll be a charge. So, Dane, you have now seen the Christie brothers.
Yes.
For a few minutes here. What do you, I mean, that was quite an introduction you got to Max Christie.
I mean, I like the dunk to start it off, but ever since that first dunk, he's only got 2 points.
And 0 for 3 from 3.
And, yeah, over 3 from 3. I was expecting a little bit more, but I think he'll figure things out down the stretch, get it together. He's not the number 1 in the recruit in the state for nothing.
That ball out on Christie. And we've been talking about it all day. This isn't a tournament you can win with one player. And now we haven't seen too much of Rolling Meadows. This one will again stay with the Mustangs, but we haven't seen too much of Rolling Meadows. But from what we hear and what we see online and all of that, this team's pretty good. Good little cut there. That basket good. By Brandon Schroyer.
Rolling Meadows down 3 early on, with 2 minutes and 40 seconds left.
Christie to Christie. Cam hesitates, goes up, floater on the way, no good. Rebounded by number 42, Foster Ogbona. And Christie, that's going to be a foul. I believe that won't be on Hong.
Every opportunity. Sorry, Young.
No, that foul will be called at number 1, Daniel Hong. Go ahead.
Every opportunity that Rolling Meadows gets, they try to force it to Max Christie. And the way this game's going, 10-7, obviously not the way you expected it to go.
Christie hits that one.
Christie hits that 3. Or was it only a 2? It's the 2. You almost gotta change it up and try to get the ball to all the players on the team, not just Max.
Now, what's kind of cool about this atmosphere is you have a lot of people here. As Christie hits that one, we have a lot of people here that are looking at the Christie brothers. But if you're Conant, you're Devin Ellis, you want to come in here and you're thinking about how cool it would be. Shock the world. Good little reverse. Can't get it to finish. And back the other way because Orlando Thomas and the Mustangs kick out. Ball no good. Rebounded by Sean Beckman. And Ellis comes back the other way. Looking, Ellis driving up. No good, but a foul called. I believe that foul will be on Orlando Thomas. So Ellis at the line shooting 2. And he'll hit the first. So Dane, it's an interesting, I can't say that, we haven't been in this atmosphere before, but how special is it that the people that we've seen, the scouts, the faces that you see in the stands tonight are here at York and for the Jack Tosh.
I mean, clearly the atmosphere from Game 1 and Game 2 this morning to now has completely changed throughout the course of the day. We've been here all day long broadcasting and announcing these games, and this one feels different. It feels like there's a lot of people in here, all here to see Rolling Meadows. Oh, Rolling Meadows played Conant, and of course the Christie
specifically
brothers.
Max Christie.
Max Christie.
And that's the cool thing is that we have this game now, and we have this crowd, and then after this game is over, we have an hour and a half of another game. That's St. Ignatius and Nazareth, and then we have York and Montini. York, the host of this fantastic tournament. Is that ball no good?
Here comes Christie. I mean, there are so many people in this gym, and it's not a York game, like we said earlier.
And as we said on our last broadcast, Frank Kaminsky Sr. was here, the father of Frank Kaminsky, National Player of the Year in 2015, leading the Wisconsin Badgers to an upset over the undefeated Kentucky Wildcats, and unfortunately falling to the Blue Devils of Duke, which is the school that Max Christie will most likely go to. That one off the mark, and we conclude the first quarter, 12-11 the score. Conant out in front of Rolling Meadows. All right, so Dane, I mean, what is Conant done good so far, and where have they not done a great job?
I think they've done a great job defensively, grabbing rebounds and stopping Max Christie, only allowing him to 6 points. They're up 12-11. They've done a great job of shooting and getting the ball inside. It's particularly a lower scoring game for both teams, but Conant's done a great job.
And I would second everything you just said. Although we talked about how important in this tournament it is to not get tired. This Rolling Meadows team will pick you apart, and they will expose your fatigue. That can't happen if you're Conant. Being tired is not going to be an option if they want to get this done.
Right. So far, this game has gone not the way we thought it would. It went the way we didn't think it would go this way. As expected. I mean, Conant's up 1, and hopefully, well, I'm not trying to be biased here, but part of me wants this to stay a closer game. You don't want it to happen what happened last game.
And it would just be interesting to see what Rolling Meadows does if they were to struggle against a team like Conant. But the same thing happened in our last game. Second half, first few minutes of the second half, the drive there. Oh, good. That one taken down by Orlando Thomas.
I mean, Batavia just came away with that at the end.
Coast-to-coast foul there on Devin Ellis. But we saw that in in our last game, Batavia and Andrew, the first couple minutes of the second half are just so important and so crucial, because that's if you're trailing, that is a time where you can really start to control the tempo again and just regather yourself. As Thomas is the front end, brings us to 12.
Conant working the floor.
Good basket there.
Conant leads 14-13.
And Ellis hits that one. (15-13) the score. Conant making it relatively close. It's Christie. 3 ball is no good, and just like that, he's 0 for 4 from 3. Hong and the Cougars back the other way. He goes up strong, and he's going to finish.
He has not been afraid to shoot the 3 ball. I don't know what it is with Christie. You wouldn't expect him. I don't want to say he's playing bad. He's got 6 points. But you wouldn't expect this outcome.
The blocking foul called there on Sean Beckman. Both teams had 4 fouls. Taking the ball out for the Mustangs will be Max Christie.
I think once you see Max Christie find a rhythm, he'll get into it. But it almost seems like the pressure of some sort is just getting to him.
And so Orlando Thomas back to Christie. Christie in the corner. He is outside. That one shot by Ogunsanya, and that one's no good. And back come Ellis and the Cougars. Ellis out to Hong. A lot of movement here from the Cougars. Good little drive. Ellis inside. He goes up. He goes in. That's going to be, wow, a lead of 6.
I mean,
what a drive there by Ellis.
These scouts and everyone's here to see number 24 Max, or 12 Max Christie. But on the other end, for the Cougars, number 11, Devin Ellis has 11 points, Gavin.
Yeah, and Ellis is really, Ellis is going to be a key factor if Conant is going to have any possibility of pulling this off.
He's really throwing it off. He's really throwing you off right now.
Ellis, I mean, that was a great cut there, and if Conant can just stick to what they know, that's what happens. You get the names of these Christie brothers caught up in your heads, and you start thinking about how you can outsmart a team like this and all this and all that. But if you stick to your game, I'm telling you, something tells me that Conant might be able to pull off something special.
I agree with you there, and everything you just said there, Gavin. It's almost like you read my mind.
I can't do that, dang. It's Christie pulls up just at the free throw line, gets that one to go.
See, the panic mode button is turned off right now for the Mustangs.
Well, it's just too early.
Right.
I mean, you can't worry yet.
But you would think that there's some sort of worry going on.
No foul called there. Getting up and looking for one there was Brandon Schroyer. Not getting it. This is number 14, Sean Nolan, was the accused in that case. And Christie again. Left hand drive at the free throw line. Ball no good. Rebounded by Abaz Garafili. Back the other way. Hong looking. Back up top to Ellis. Ellis driving again. He goes up. He'll go in. Got a little drive there from Devin Ellis. Lead goes back to 6. And Sean Nolan getting chippy here early. His time of the game early, that is. We got just under 5 minutes to go in the first half.
This Conant team continues to play hard on offense and defense. They're not scared of any. They're not scared by the fact that they're playing Max Christie.
Agreed. Yeah, that's something where a lot of teams overthink things like this. That ball will be awarded to Rolling Meadows. And you and I have said this, it's getting chippy and it's getting scrappy.
Right.
And that's what makes it fun. These people who are here tonight, sure, they might, it's Christie there, that ball no good, but rebound. Gets it to go, but all these people are here for the so-called Christie brothers, and that's fantastic, but it also gives these other guys a chance to really show their stuff. That's going to be a charging call.
Whoa.
And that one will be on Ellis. And the Conant crowd.
You know, as soon as I saw that go, sorry, Gavin, I interrupted you again.
No, you're good.
But as soon as I saw that ball go in, I thought, wow, this Conant team is they're really keeping it up, right? They're not going to let down on anything.
That travel call there on number 4, Daniel Sikowicz.
But somehow that foul was called. I don't know if I can agree with that.
Yeah, you know what? It's a tough foul to call,
right?
Because there's a lot of factors that go in to calling the charge. You know, you hear about the one-step rule and all this and all that, and you look Hong here at the free throw line. This one will be Swan. Must have touched number 14, Johnny Cobb. This one will go to the Mustangs. Sanya up. Right hand, no good. Getting after it, and that's a great rebound. Number 30, Brandon Schroyer up his side is going to be Ellis. He got it.
The combination from number 11, Ellis, and
that
30,
3 ball good.
And Schroyer, their combination of, they're both playing hard. You know, Ellis has 15. Schroyer only has 2, but he's been tough on both ends of the ball, grabbing those rebounds.
And that was
hard setting picks.
That was Cameron Christie on that last possession, registering his first points of the ball game on that 3. A timeout called by Conant. All right, so we've talked about it enough. Quite the crowd here tonight. But, I mean, what do you think? Conant, I asked you what you think Conant could improve on. What have they done well in your eyes?
Locking down the Christie brothers, right? But along with, on offense, working inside the paint, getting scores inside the paint, drawing fouls, grabbing offensive and defensive rebounds. Rebounding today, we've seen all day, that's what's been winning games.
Agreed, and having strong defense is not something in this tournament that's going to hurt you. (23-22), 2.5 to go in the first half. dropping outside. A lot of movement, so Orlando Thomas with the defense. Nothing going. Abaz Karafili trying to direct traffic. This one will be taken away. Put back there by Max Christie.
Looking like
But
Jameis
that was
Winston on that interception.
Yeah, and that was Daniel Sipkowicz breaking up the play.
There's a great putback from Christie there.
Ellis called for his
Charge.
second.
No, I don't understand that charge call. It's happened twice now. I don't know if Ellis the first time, but he's had a phenomenal game so far. Especially working inside the paint.
Big fan of Ellis. Devin Ellis is right in front of us. Ball goes back to the Mustangs after the charge call. Ogunsanya to Cam Christie. Now Sipkowicz. Ball fed to the middle, and Max Christie. He goes jumper. This one way off the mark. Hong and the Cougars, just over a minute remaining. Sean Beckman gives back to Hong. That ball goes to Rolling Meadows after Sean Beckman got a little sloppy and Daniel Sipkowicz got his hand in there. "50 seconds, Dane. A little bit too much time to just sit here and hold the ball for the last shot. But I might stand corrected." Outside, Thomas for three is good. And with that, Rolling Meadows leads the Conant Cougars by 4. 30 seconds left in the first half.
Was that Cam with the pass there? Inside? Yeah.
That would that would have
Yes.
that would have been Cam.
I thought that was a great assist. Looking for the wide open man in the corner.
No foul called, and Thomas and the Mustangs back the other way. Max Christie with 10. Up to Ogunsanya. Now to Christie with 7. 6 with 5. Outside. And that's going to be a charge call, I believe. And yes, it will be. 3.4 to go.
Whatever's been talked about, this Conant huddle. Yeah. This Conant coach, something defensively has been shown strong here. It's been
And
like
Rolling
3 charge
Meadows.
calls.
Rolling Meadows will stick with the press all the way. He's got the middle. Up 3 ball to end the half is no good. And that's where we stand at the end of the first half. 27. Rolling Meadows. 23. Conant. We'll be right back after the next 10 minutes with the second half. Gavin Hughes and Dane Emmerich. The Jack Tosh Holiday Classic on YS.
Like, yeah, I can hear myself. Yeah, I can still hear myself.
We welcome you back to Rolling Meadows and Conant, Jack Tosh Holiday Classic. Dang, that dinner, that halftime dinner
10 minutes.
tastes real good. It wasn't even 10 minutes, it was a quick 10 minutes. Oh yeah. Little garlic bread? I'll take it.
Oh, dude. I should have grabbed
So
the
good.
garlic bread. I didn't see it.
Oh. I got a stash under the table. We're good.
Couple water bottles.
Couple water bottles.
I got mine up here. I got a water bottle and Gatorade.
All right, Gatorade too. So we resume action in the second half with the Mustangs of Rolling Meadows. 27-23 the score. Conant has done a pretty good job of containing the Christie brothers, as we mentioned before. Max Christie, the #1 overall recruit of the class of 2021. 6'8" junior. Kicks outside. Sikowicz hits the three. Tell you what, Bobby, we talked about it time, and tell you what, Dane, we talk about it time and time again. You just the first couple minutes of the second half are extremely crucial. This Ellis jumper is good.
You're right. The first couple minutes of the second half always set the tempo for the rest of the game. Specifically the rest of the quarter, but it likes to set the tempo for the rest of the game.
I believe that's Ogunsani on the finish, but I believe Max Christie is 0 for 5 from 3.
No, I think no. He's not hitting the
Cam
three-pointer.
Christie hit the 3, but Max Christie is 0 for 5. Hasn't made a 3. Hasn't made a 3 from distance. Maybe 1.
Maybe
right.
one.
Might be 1.
But it's not what we expected to see. He's got 12 points posted, but you got Ellis.
Devon Ellis has played a great game. As Beckman there, no good. Foul.
Yeah, Conant Cougars. He's got 17
That foul will
points.
be called. That foul will be called on number 12, Matt McCullough. Reminder that Cam Christie, number 24, is only a freshman, and he is the brother. That one, that foul there called on number 14, Sean Nolan. We were seeing Sean Nolan get into it a little bit late in the first half.
Right.
And with that, he'll come out, and checking in is Orlando Thomas. 7-point game, 32-25. That's Hong on the jumper is good. 32-27. His 4th point of the ball game.
You know, it seems weird that Rolling Meadows is up 32-27 because it almost seemed like that first half, Conant was just running Rolling Meadows. And that looks like a travel there, no call. But it seems like Conant has been running Rolling Meadows' defense all game long and making them make the mistakes on offense.
Max up to Cam. Rebound by Max Christie, and that'll make it 36-27. Just like that, it went from 5 to 9 in the blink of an eye. Back the other way was Coming Hong, and a timeout called by the Conant Cougars. Go ahead. And the big thing is for Conant, you're down by 9. What in your mind, what are you doing if you're the Cougars?
Part of me is saying you play the same game you've been playing all game, but at the same time you need to figure out a way to stop Christie. It doesn't seem like he's been doing much, but he still has 14 points. So it's something about stopping Christie, but also continuing doing what you're doing.
And I tell you what, we are impressed at halftime with the defense of Orlando Thomas, and he's become a pretty big factor in this ball game, an X factor, and he's got a pretty valuable 7 points, but his defense has been pretty darn good through the first half and this young second half. As checking the ball in now for Conant will be Abaz Karafili. Devin Ellis. Right hand dribble drive, nothing going. Gives inside, Hong, jumper, a bank is good.
Yeah, that's great ball movement from Conant. Working the floor, opening up. Spacing is great. Setting picks. That's what you like to see from a winning.
And we said team. all Conant has to do is stick to their game.
Right. Part of me thinks that Conant's coach kind of mentioned that in the huddle there.
Ogunsanya the 3.
Wow.
Back to 10.
He's got 10 points.
And he's one of those guys. He's quick. It's Hong. Jumper from about the free throw line is no good. Rebound to Ogunsanya. Back the other way. Going quickly. Now he'll go at the free throw line. No good. Rebound by Beckman and on to Hong. (39-29) the score. Beckman, poor pass. Results to Christie. Christie driving. Good finish.
That is what you're used to seeing from Max Christie. Driving in, using his size to his advantage, as well as speed.
Beckman out to Ellis. Ellis for 3. Off the mark. Rebound by Cam Christie. He looks. He'll feed out. Thomas, 3-ball, is good. And we talked about it, Dane. First couple minutes, they're always going to hurt you. And at 44-29, this one starts to look a little interesting. If you're Conant, you just can't let it slip away.
16 points for Max Christie. 17 points from Devon Ellis.
What's important is that with Devin Ellis, it's not like throughout the first couple minutes here, the second half, he hasn't been a huge factor. We saw him the dribble drive penetration throughout the entire first half, and as of right now, I have not seen, Devin Ellis is not catching our eyes.
Like I said, the first half, it almost seems like they put all their energy into that first half. Conant, by the way. They put all their energy in that first half, trying to frustrate Rolling Meadows.
And that's what we see with a lot of these teams who come into these games and might think that the team that they're playing is going to beat down on them because they're just publicized, and this is where it starts to hurt and that starts to get back into your mind. It's a mental game. As we look Thomas now, and we'll go far side corner, no good. Rebound by Ellis. Up to Hong. Hong hesitates. He looks. He'll give. Back to Hong. Guarded by Thomas. Beckman. First points in a while for the Cougars. Cuts it back down to 13. Christie. I mean, that's just one of those things where he's using his size to his advantage.
He's starting to show off here, and he's setting the tempo for the Conant team.
And when you say show off, as Hong hits that 3. When you say show off, what I mean, are you saying for scouts or?
Yeah, I'm saying for scouts. I mean, that first half for him, and even the rest of Rolling Meadows, it was sloppy, right? He wasn't really hitting his shots, and now he's starting to figure out what's working for him against Conant. It's going well.
So you're saying he's trying to make it look pretty. That's
Right.
what you're saying.
Right.
I get it. I get it.
He's starting. You know, he reminds me. Tell me who he reminds you of.
I mean, you're saying who he reminds me of in terms of
who does Christie look like in the NBA?
in terms of his play style, or in
Just
terms of his you know, because he's tall but he's lengthy,
everything.
but he's not.
Right, but he's okay. Comparing it to the rest of the players here. You're saying AD.
Who are you thinking?
Giannis Antetokounmpo.
So you're saying Giannis.
Yeah. I mean, right there, like that, right?
You know what? Yeah, I mean, you know, I would agree. But until I see that coast to coast
Yeah.
slam, I can't say he's like Giannis.
Oh, that opening dunk though.
The open dunk over a guy was impressive.
Right. I think he's a not as progressed Giannis.
But Giannis, the thing about Giannis is that he's also a scrappy player, and we haven't seen Christie on the floor yet.
Maybe a couple times. I mean, he's got 20 points.
I mean, it's a tough. I would say it's a really tough, thing to kind of pinpoint because, comparing a junior, he's still young. When you're talking about the NBA, he's young. I can't make NBA comparisons yet.
Okay, I get that.
Now, do I see how you're saying he's like Giannis? Yes, but I don't think Giannis gets after it. I think Max is getting after it, but I think Rolling Meadows is coming into this game focused on the next one. I don't think it's
right. Okay, I think the way when I said that, I think the way that he's able to finish the basketball, very similar to Giannis, especially in the second half.
So holes in the hands of Christie there. Back the other way comes Devin Ellis. He'll go up, can't finish the floater, the jumper. And this ball will stick with Conant. 48-34, 24 and a half.
I'm starting to feel bad for this Conant team.
24.5 seconds to go in the third quarter.
It's not like in the second half. I'll speak of this at the end of the quarter.
Good, no finish. Out to Hong. Hong will hit a three. Straight up the other way, losing it. Back comes Ellis and the Cougars. Cougars with 5, with 4, with 3, with 2, with 1. No good. That's just poor awareness there by Michael Sheehy. That's something that cannot be done. I mean, you're in a game like this right now. You got to know the situation, and we've heard tons of coaches, talk about that. And that's just not knowing the situation.
I think we're starting to see frustration coming from the Conant side, and it's not that they're playing that bad, or they're getting dominated by Rolling Meadows. They can't get anything to fall right now.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah, and it's not one of those things where, it's beneficials. It's none of that. It's just
right.
I really do think it's Conant not allowing themselves to run their offense and stick to their game. I think they got to do a better job of running their style and sticking to their game plan. And I think that's something that they've lost, going from the first half to the second half.
Right. This third quarter from Rolling Meadows has been everything but sloppy. Right.
I just think Conant needs to get down, run the offense, settle it down. They're trying to get too many buckets in transition.
My little brother won't stop talking to Sloshy up there. Oh my God.
Inbounds now to Max Christie. That's how we will start the fourth quarter. With a drive out to Christie, the jumper is no good, rims in and out. Rebound to Sheehy, to Hong, and here come the Cougars. Good finish there. Number 5.
You know what I'm looking forward to?
Baz. He went in and out. That's going to be costly. That was Daniel Sikowicz. But a great little finish there on that last play by Abaz Karafili.
Who was? If Rolling Meadows can win this game, I'm looking forward to a Nate Shockey, Max Christie matchup.
A Nate Shockey, Max Christie matchup would be really, really good. That'd be a fun one, as Ellis gets that one to go. Just like that, back down to 48-41. Just over 7 minutes to go in the ball game. But that would be a fun one. That would be a really fun one to watch.
I mean, Shockey's proven that he's underrated. He knows that. He's. Oh, sorry, I was watching.
Shockey, I think is what's special about Shockey is that he's a lot more than just his numbers.
Right.
He's a leader, and you can see that his leadership is contagious throughout the entire locker room. I mean, you see that time and time again, and I think, like you said, I think he knows that he is underrated.
Shockey this season's put up great numbers, not only just points, but assists, as well as rebounds. Like you said, he's a great leader, and I think the way he's scrappy, the way he fights, he never gives up. He puts 100% energy into every play.
And Cam Christie knocks down that bucket. But as you know, as we have the privilege to watch the Dukes as much as we do, I will say that I could see Nate and I could see the guys. This foul will call, I believe, on either Ogunsanya or Christie, but I could definitely see the guys getting after a team that is as wrapped up in the hype as Rolling Meadows is. Just kick out, outside. That ball no good. Back the other way comes Cam Christie. Christie tries to go coast to coast, and he does. 53-41. Just over 6 minutes to go in the ball game.
Cam Christie now has 8 points. So the last couple buckets.
As Hong looks. Jumper blocked. Back the other way goes Max Christie. Christie, nice little spin move. Good little finish.
Good D from Hong, not allowing the dunk, but great play from Christie with the spin move.
And a couple unanswered as Cam now getting after it. Has it in the corner. And a foul is going to be called on number 12, Matt McCullough.
Back-to-back steals from the Christie brothers. Impressive.
Christie will take it out of bounds. Give it to Cam. This one will go the other way in favor of the Cougars, but it is important to note that other than just Max Christie, Devin Ellis has put on quite the show for those in attendance tonight.
19 points from Devin Ellis.
Ogunsanya on Ellis.
He's been guarded heavily, though, this second half we've seen.
He is. It kind of shifts into a little double team when Ellis has the ball.
Yeah.
See when he drives here, that time he's not picked up, but he gets the floater to go 55-43.
It's his 21st point. Ellis has 21, Ellis has 21. Max Christie has 22. And if you're wanting, Cam Christie has 8.
And we've seen a couple pretty good games. You were a big fan of the Batavia game, that game that showcased Jaden Johnson.
Oh, he had a great game.
Great. I mean, it's one of those, you know, Batavia is one of those teams where all around they have height, they have athleticism, and they can really lock down on defense too.
I think Batavia is a team that can go far into this tournament.
I do too. And I think Batavia is one of those teams where they got better as the game went on.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Yeah. I mean, Andrew stuck with them as long as they could. But this team, this Batavia team is might be something special, and we might be hearing a lot about him over the next couple days.
And I'm getting a feeling that this game here is slowly turning into what that Batavia-Angie game just was. You know, Conant stuck with Rolling Meadows the most of this game, but with 5 minutes left in this fourth quarter, who knows how Rolling Meadows can pull away with this. And if you notice, Max Christie hasn't come out of the game.
Yeah, Max Christie has not. That's a good point. Max Christie has not left this ball game, and I don't believe his brother has either.
His brother might have, but Max, I mean, I don't think people realize how impressive that is.
Yeah, you know, good little cut inside by Orlando Thomas, but you're right, and we talk about fatigue. These are just guys that they refuse to get tired.
I mean, to be able to play every minute of every game, especially in a tournament, well, we'll see how that goes through the rest of the tournament, but it's impressive.
This ball taken away. Here comes Christie. My goodness.
The speed. He took that, like you said, coast to coast, Gavin, and you were waiting for it, weren't you?
I was waiting for it. I said that earlier. I was waiting for it.
I mean, especially now in the fourth quarter, hasn't come out of the game. I mean, that takes a lot of effort to take that ball coast to coast and slam that.
It's really, I mean, what these guys are doing is pretty impressive. As the three ball there is no good, rattles in and out, and once again, here comes Max Christie. Good little fade, Ogunsanya, and he'll finish.
And that was a great job from Christie with the passes that Ellis got his way.
And we talk about unselfishness. Max Christie has that in his play. There's Ellis on the near side.
The second half from Christie, Max Christie that is, has been phenomenal.
Some Cowicks, three ball, no good. Rebound by Christie to Cam.
Great pass.
Out to Thomas. Some Cowicks again. Three-pointer is good.
That is great ball movement. The rebound from Christie. Back out, kick it around. Great job from Rolling Meadows.
64-43 the score is Beckman hits that three. First points in a while from the Conant Cougars.
You know, sorry, keep going.
64-46 the score, 3:21 to go, and the timeout there once again called by Conant.
Even though this score seems like it's a lot, which it is, 64-46, it almost seems like Conant's been in this game the entire time. They haven't given up. They've been playing hard the entire time, which I enjoy. It seems like it's a close, exciting game, which, I mean, it is.
And early on, we saw Max Christie, and we watched his play, and we were talking about how we weren't overly impressed. But, you know, being around this sport for even just a game, you can tell when a player gets comfortable. I definitely think that Max Christie, as this game has gone on, found his click in the ballgame.
Right, with 24 points, he has.
Back up comes Hong. Beckman. Inside. Got a little sloppy there. That pass was intended for Nick Gamarawi. And out comes Cam Christie.
8 points he had today.
That will most likely conclude his night. Now one taken away. The finish there by Nife Oseni.
First bucket of the game for him.
That shot good by Nick Gamrawi.
Pretty much an entire new lineup here from Conant with 2 minutes to go.
As you say, getting a couple of young guys in there.
Yeah.
And out comes number 12, Max Christie. He will end his night
24. Max is 24.
with 24 points. Pretty special. We're getting closer and closer to a Shockey Christie matchup.
I mean that's really hard to do in this first tournament game. You know, these stands are pretty packed. Everyone's cheering his name.
And you heard
pressure's on.
whispers. You heard whispers, and